Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.
And you're very welcome back to Tip Today, 1800 938 007. Now, we've been speaking about dance halls and show bands in the county and around the country over the past week or so. But what about the ballrooms in England? Because, of course, they were a haven indeed for many Irish people who went over. This was how they met loved ones and all of that kind of thing. But let's go to a Tipperary man living in the UK for quite a while. And now Ger Malumbi is with me. Good morning to you, Jerry. How are you?
I'm fine, Fran. Nice to talk to you.
And good to talk to you too. And thank you for coming on with us, because I wanted to get that angle of particularly London and the likes of the Galtymore and that. When you went over first, did you go to London, Ger?
Yes, I did. And I went to Cricklewood and obviously to the Galtymore. And I worked there for many years throughout my time in London. And of course, there were two ballrooms there. There was the Arran Suite and what they used to call the Cayley Room.
Yes.
Now, going back in the 60s, they would have a Cayley band in the Cayley Ballroom and a show band then in the Arran Suite. I remember, I saw them all there. A great event there was the Irish World Awards, and I saw Neil Tobin, Ronnie Drew, obviously Big Tom, and of course there's no show
like a Joe show.
A Joe show. Joe's show in London was fantastic. The big speakers, and he packed the place out.
Yeah, was he the biggest draw there at the time?
He would have been Joe and Big Tom, but I mean Louise Morrissey was over many times. All the bands came to England, and then down the road in Kilburn there was a ballroom called the National,
yes,
which was a smaller version. Did you ever play the Galtymore?
I did indeed, and I played the National as well. Now, not as much as the others, but because at that time I was more involved in the folky end of things. But I mean, they were huge venues and so important to the Irish community over there.
Oh, they were. I mean, there's a small thing like, for example, I remember when I worked there in the 90s on St. Patrick's night, all the young second generation young kids, it was a rite of passage. They went to the Galtymore on St. Patrick's night, clean shaven and the shamrock on, And but actually then it closed very, very suddenly in the late 90s, which was a bit of surprise because I think a lot of people wanted to kind of say goodbye to it. And it was closed down for many years. And now it's converted into a mall and kind of a shopping centre. But there's a great... Go on.
No. Sorry, do go on, Jerry. You were going to say what?
I know. There's a great story I was saying to Leanne. when the show bands kind of demised in Ireland, as you know, and kind of disco took over, Dermot O'Brien went off to America.
Yes.
And he used to come back to the UK in the 80s, and he had his sister Maria living in Harrow. So he had some PA he used to store there, and he'd get some session players. And he was a regular still in the Galtymore and the National. But he had acquired a taste for red wine when he was out in America. And nobody was drinking red wine in London or even Ireland at the time. Yeah. And typical Irish wit, whenever Dermot was coming over, the bar staff used to say, if you're going down to the cellar, bring up a couple of bottles of Dermot's Diesel. And that went into the Galtymore folklore, because when I worked there, again later on, if you're going down to the cellar and someone, well, it was boxes then, bring up a few boxes of Dermot's Diesel. Anyway, that was...
Oh, that's brilliant. But I'm delighted you mentioned him, because we haven't spoken about him. He was an amazing musician. I mean, technically, he was an incredible box player.
He was, and when he did come over and I did a concert in the Salvatorium with Patrick O'Connell, we used to do a kind of variety concerts there, and Dermot, this is a few years before he died, he used to come and visit Marie, and then he'd come down and he'd play, and he was a master on the accordion, absolute master, And actually, talking about him, this is something for you to check out later if you haven't already seen it, Fran. There's a lovely piece on YouTube, which I found by accident, of Dermot O'Brien, Bing Crosby, and Milo O'Shea playing McNamara's band.
I've seen it. It's absolutely incredible. It's incredible.
It?
Yeah.
It was sometime, obviously, when
Bing was
Crosby
over.
was.
Yes. In fact, I think at that time he was over, he visited Tipperary, because I know that there's lovely photographs available in Nina in the pantry there of his visit to Tipperary. So I'd say it was all around the same time. Who else stands out for you in terms of the bands you would have seen there in the Galtymore, Jerry?
Brian Quinn. Oh gosh, there were everyone was over every
Margot
every weekend.
would have been there quite a lot, wouldn't
Margot,
she?
of course, and Daniel did a few. Oh yeah, Daniel used to do a few concerts for the Mary from Dunlow competition. But when I was working behind the bar, so it was kind of busy. But we had some great nights, and as you said, they were packed out.
Right.
And with the two ballrooms.
You were telling Leanne as well about a religious event that you were part of in the Galtymore as well.
Oh, well, that's going back a long. That might have been 1981 when I was in around Cricklewood. And you remember the days these have the parish mission, and they had one in St. Agnes's in Cricklewood. And of course, the church wasn't big enough to hold the crowd for the last night, so they hosted it in the Galtymore, and that wouldn't happen now. But that's a memory I have. Yeah, and also, we used to do plays there. I mean, because I worked there, I got access to put on plays. But we did a very big play in 1983 called The Bowron Makers, based on the John B. Keane novel. And we turned the Arran Suite into the town of Listowel.
Wow.
With the Catholic Church at one end and St. John's at the end. Now, St. John's, as you know, is a theatre space now. Yeah. And it was a promenade story. So the audience came in and they walked around from scene to scene. It was something very special. It was a big effort. Stephen Ray did it, and I was cast as the school teacher, and it was a fantastic community event.
Oh, brilliant! So
a great joy.
The great Stephen Ray was treading the boards with you, Jim.
No. He's a different Stephen Ray.
Oh, is it? All right, okay.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
No problem. And tell me about the love stories, because there was a lot of them, was there not?
Oh yeah, I'm sure your listeners today now in all parts of Tipperary and Munster spent time working in the UK, and many went back in the 70s, and many came over, Fran, to work with the intention of going back. They acquired skills here and they went back. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll have many listeners, maybe a few might phone in to say that they met in the Galtymore. Yes. And it wasn't a mirror bar, though. It was a fully fledged bar. Yes. And it wasn't the men on one side and the women on the others. But St. Patrick's night was a huge night there.
It must have been. And who would have played there on the St. Patrick's night?
That would have been either Big Tom or Joe.
Would it? Okay, so one of the really big acts.
Yeah.
I remember many years ago, Jerry, speaking to Margot about the Galtymore and the National, and she spoke about different aspects of it. But one was the heartbreak of seeing some of the Irish over there who were down on their luck. Would you have witnessed that?
Oh yeah, very much so. I mean, I got involved with there were a lot of single men who fell on hard times, and I was involved back in 1983 in setting up a day centre in Ashford Place, which is now thriving now as a day centre and a resettlement for single men. And I was the chair of it for a number of years.
Were you?
But they were people who fell on hard times. And now they'd be all elderly, and there's a great resource down there with Danny Marr doing a lot of reminiscence and taking people back to Ireland. You see, there's always been a kind of a myth, Fran, in Ireland that, the forgotten Irish in Britain. Well, the Irish in Britain looked after each other.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
the Oblet set up Camden Irish Centre, Father Brian Taff up in Birmingham, you know, and Leeds Irish Health and Homes. We look after each other. But I know when RTE made that documentary, it raised awareness and helped with funding and things. But the Irish in Britain look out for each other.
Well, that's for sure. I remember touring all of and in fairness to the religious over there, the Catholic clubs, I remember I used to tour them year in, year out, but they were so good and so pivotal to communities, at the core of communities, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they kind of stuck together, and, you know, they went to Mass on Sunday and into the hall afterwards, and all the functions. You know, there were christenings and confirmations and first communions were all held in the hall. And as you're right, and what just happened too, Fran, you'll know this, and how the bands will say, who played the Galtimore, will say on a Saturday, would stop off up in my neck of the woods now. They stop off in Nottingham on the way back.
Yeah.
So a small club like the Greyfriars in Nottingham would have Declan Nerney, you know, on a Sunday night, and that'd be a great coup for them, you know.
Yeah, I remember I used to play Newark in Nottingham, actually.
Oh,
and it was a beautiful club over there with Father Tim O'Sullivan, I think, if memory serves.
Father Tim is a legend.
Yeah. You knew him. Terrific, yeah.
Oh, yes, he's now in Derby.
Oh, I'm glad to hear he's alive and well. You must say hello to him for me if you see him, yeah.
He is. He's a great friend of Sean O'Shea.
Oh, you see. Yeah, because I think, was he a Kerry footballer at some point or other as well, I think?
No, his brother was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
His brother was a Kerry footballer. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, he was a legend for putting on dances to raise funds to build the centre in Newark. And I was talking to him last week.
Were you?
Because I rang him when I heard about Sean O'Shea. And he said, Jerry, I was going over for the funeral because Sean said to me, he wanted me to do the funeral. And didn't he go out during the recent snow and for a walk, because he's a very healthy man, and he slipped anyway. So he wasn't able to go for the funeral, but he hopes to go over for the Month's Mind. And Sean came over most St. Patrick's weekends and sang the Orida Mass in Derby.
Did he indeed?
And,
Isn't that
yeah. They were great friends, and they used to go walking together.
Oh, I didn't realise that. But, please say hello to him for me, because I have some lovely, fond memories of him in Newark, and some very late nights now, I have to say, Jerry. but some great times over there, for sure.
Imagine.
Has it all homogenised now in some way, that the Irish are no longer in ghettos, for want of a better word, or silos? Has it homogenised? I mean, the Irish going over there now?
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has, Fran. I mean, what's happening now, we're saying like Kilburn and Cricklewood, there's older Irish people, but Irish people coming over now, you know this, they're educated, they're headhunters, they're coming over to jobs, and various jobs in finance, medicine, teaching. Yet there's still lads coming over, because there's always a need for people to work on the construction business, but they're coming over with qualifications, you know, and draftsmen and architects, and it's different, but still there's a good atmosphere around Kilburn and Cricklewood, around the Irish scene. There's the Tricycle Cinema there puts on regular Irish films, but the Irish what happened too was when they'd done well, they'd have moved up into Hendon, so they might have been renting in Cricklewood, and they'd buy property in Hendon. This is what happened to my wife's family, and up into Colindale. And, you know, they buy their own property. And so they've done well, yeah.
Of course, even though Cricklewood, now, last time I was there, it's kind of gentrified now, isn't it? It's getting...
Oh, yeah. You see, I mean, St. John's Wood and Maida Vale were one time expensive places where all the actors lived.
Yeah.
But now, it's all moved up into Kilburn, up into Hendon, Cricklewood, flats and properties. Even now, as far as Colindale, you know, just at the edge of the M1.
It's interesting because I was in the Crown a few years ago, and the tables are no longer bolted to the floor, Jerry. Like they used to be all those years ago. It's lovely to remember. Sorry, do go on, Jerry. Yeah,
just one more good story. The Irish World awarded Lifetime Achievement Award to Ronnie Drew, and he sang it. He sang in the Galtimore, the Iron Suite, And the song he sang was, of course, McAlpine's Fusiliers, and of course the Crown is literally next door. That was quite a moment, you know.
Oh, it must have been indeed. Well, a pleasure to reminisce
and you know, the
with
Crown
you.
is a listed building, so it's a very fine hotel now.
It's a beautiful place. They have it so beautiful,
yeah.
you know. And still remembering the history of it, which I think is kind of nice as well, you know.
Oh yeah.
Pleasure to reminisce with you. Looking forward to seeing you around St. Patrick's Day over in lovely
Absolutely,
Nottingham,
and regards
Jerry.
from Muriel.
All right.
Okay.
Good to talk to you.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jerry.
Cheers,
Thank
Fran.
you. Gorilla Mahagut. That's Jerry Malumbi. They're very famous and wonderfully talented Tipperary family as well, the Malumbis, of course. 1800 938 007. Let's take a break. Back in just a smidgen.
Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.